The Galactic Empire was vast and powerful. It ruled many planets and species across the stars. The Empire was always searching for new worlds to conquer and new resources to claim. One day, the leaders of the Empire heard whispers of a small blue planet called Earth. Rumors spread about a strange species living there, humans. The Empire's leaders were intrigued. They wondered if humans could be easily controlled or if they could become useful allies. Admiral Kor, a proud and ambitious officer of the Empire, was chosen to lead the mission to Earth. He stood tall and confident, his shiny uniform reflecting the bright lights of the command center. Kor believed that this mission would prove his worth to the Empire and could even lead to his promotion. "Prepare the ship," he ordered. The crew quickly obeyed, gathering supplies and setting course for Earth. As the ship traveled through space, Kor reviewed the data about humans. He learned that they were clever and resourceful, but also emotional and unpredictable. He scoffed at the idea. How could such a small and fragile species stand against the might of the Empire, he thought. Kor was eager to show the humans the power of the Empire and expected them to submit easily. After days of travel, the ship finally reached Earth. Kor and his crew gazed out at the vibrant blue planet below. The sights were breathtaking: green forests, sparkling oceans, and sprawling cities filled with lights. It was a beautiful world, and Kor felt a sense of excitement. "Prepare to land," he commanded. The ship descended through the atmosphere and landed softly in a remote area, away from prying eyes. Kor and his team stepped onto the ground, their boots sinking into the soft grass. They had arrived. The crew set up communication devices and scanners to gather information about their surroundings. Kor felt a thrill of power. This world was now in their reach. Soon, a group of humans approached cautiously. They looked curious but also wary. Kor stepped forward, his chest puffed out. "We come in peace," he announced, trying to sound reassuring. "We are from the Galactic Empire. We wish to speak with you and discuss the future of our two species." The humans exchanged glances, unsure of how to respond. One brave human stepped forward, a tall man with dark hair and determined eyes. "We've heard of your empire," he said, "but we do not trust you. What do you really want?" Kor smiled, sensing an opportunity to show his power. "We want to share knowledge and technology," he replied. "Together we can achieve greatness. But know this, we are a powerful force and we will not tolerate any defiance." The humans looked taken aback but remained firm. "We are not afraid of threats," the brave human replied. "We will not bow to you." Kor's smile faded, but he quickly regained his composure. "Very well," he said. "Let us demonstrate the wonders of our technology. You will see that joining the Empire is in your best interest." Kor led the humans to their ship, where they showcased advanced weapons and starships that glimmered with power. The humans listened, impressed but cautious. They understood the Empire's might, but sensed the danger lurking beneath the surface. As the presentation ended, Kor turned to the humans. "Will you join us? Together we can conquer the universe." The brave human shook his head. "We do not negotiate with those who threaten us. We will not surrender." Kor's eyes narrowed. He realized that the humans were not as easy to control as he had thought. They were stubborn and proud, traits that could lead to trouble. He felt a mixture of anger and respect for them. "This is only the beginning," he warned. "You will see that the Empire always gets what it wants." The humans stood firm, their resolve unbroken. Kor turned away, deep in thought. He would not give up easily, and he sensed that the path ahead would be filled with challenges. The Empire had underestimated humanity, and soon they would discover that humans did not negotiate, they annihilate. After the initial meeting, Admiral Kor returned to his ship, filled with both excitement and frustration. The humans had surprised him. He had expected them to be submissive, but they stood firm, refusing to bow to the Empire. As he sat in his command chair, Kor knew he needed a new plan. He couldn't let the humans see any weakness. Meanwhile, on Earth, the brave human who had spoken out, named Alex, gathered his friends to discuss the encounter. They had watched the Empire's demonstration in awe, but were also filled with concern. "They are powerful," Alex said, his voice steady, "but we cannot let them control us. We must prepare for what may come." His friends nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. They were a small group, but they represented many on Earth who were wary of the Empire's intentions. They agreed to spread the word about the Empire and the need for unity among humans. Back on the Empire's ship, Kor summoned his officers for a meeting. The humans are strong-willed and proud, he said, pacing the room. We must find a way to break their spirit. If we show them our might, they will understand that resistance is futile. One of his officers, Lieutenant Zara, raised her hand. Admiral, perhaps we should use a show of strength to intimidate them. A display of our weapons could send a message. Kor considered her suggestion. A show of strength could work, but we must be careful. We cannot underestimate them again. Prepare a demonstration of our firepower, but keep it controlled. We want to send a warning, not destroy them just yet. The next day, Kor announced the demonstration to the humans, inviting them to watch. We want to show you the true power of the Galactic Empire, he declared. This will be a peaceful display of our technology, so you can see what you would be joining. Alex and his friends were determined to attend. They knew this was a chance to understand the Empire better. As they arrived at the landing site, they could see the Empire's ships lined up in formation, gleaming in the sunlight. The sight was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Kor stood before the humans, ready to impress them. "Watch closely," he shouted. With a wave of his hand, he signaled for the ships to begin their demonstration. The engines roared to life, and the ships soared into the sky, leaving trails of bright light behind them. The humans watched in amazement as the ships performed intricate maneuvers. Kor smiled, believing that this would finally convince the humans of the Empire's power. He pointed to the largest ship, the flagship. "This is the pride of the Empire! It can destroy an entire planet with a single blast!" The crowd gasped at his words, but Alex stepped forward, feeling the weight of the moment. "We are not afraid of your weapons," he called out. "Threats will not persuade us to join you. We will defend our home." Kor's smile faded. He hadn't expected such defiance during the demonstration. "You misunderstand," he replied, trying to maintain control. "This is not a threat. It is an invitation to join a greater power." As the display continued, Alex's resolve grew stronger. He noticed the fear in some of the humans' eyes, but he knew they had to remain united. "We must show them we will not be intimidated," he thought. After the demonstration, the humans gathered to discuss what they had seen. Many were impressed by the Empire's technology, but Alex urged them to remember the threats behind the show of force. "We cannot let them divide us. We must stand together," he said passionately. Kor watched from a distance, realizing that the humans were more than he had expected. They were brave and ready to fight for their freedom. As he returned to his ship, he understood that the Empire's plans would not be easy. The humans would not negotiate, they would fight back. The stage was set for a battle of wills. Kor vowed to find a way to crush their spirit, while Alex and his friends prepared to defend their world. Both sides were determined, and the conflict between the Galactic Empire and humanity was only just beginning. The atmosphere was tense on Earth after the Empire's demonstration. Alex and his friends knew that the Empire would not give up easily. They spent hours discussing how to prepare for what might come next. They understood that the Empire was powerful, but they were determined to defend their home. Meanwhile, Admiral Kor sat in his command chair, deep in thought. The demonstration had not gone as planned. The humans had shown unexpected bravery, and Kor realized that they would not submit easily. He decided to take a different approach. "We need to send a message," he said to his officers. "We will show them that we will not tolerate defiance." Kor ordered a small squadron of ships to move closer to Earth, but this time he would not hold a demonstration. Instead, they would conduct a surprise attack on a nearby military base. The Empire wanted to scare the humans into submission, and Kor believed this would do the trick. As the Empire's ships approached the base, alarms began to ring. The soldiers stationed there scrambled to prepare for an unknown attack. They had seen the Empire's power and were frightened, but they knew they had to defend their home. They grabbed their weapons and formed defensive lines, ready for whatever was coming. Kor watched from his ship, pleased with the chaos below. "Prepare to fire," he commanded. The officers obeyed, ready to unleash their weapons on the humans. Kor believed this would be the moment that would break their spirit. But just as he was about to give the order, a young soldier on the base noticed the approaching ships. "Sir, they're here," he shouted. The commanding officer quickly assessed the situation. "We need to act fast. Get the anti-aircraft guns ready." The soldiers scrambled into position, adrenaline pumping through their veins. They had heard stories of the Empire's power, but they also knew they had to protect their planet. They began firing their weapons into the sky, hoping to shoot down the Empire's ships. Kor was shocked as he saw the anti-aircraft fire. "They are fighting back!" he yelled. Anger filled him. "Return fire! Show them the consequences of their actions!" The Empire's ships opened fire and explosions lit up the sky. The soldiers on the ground fought bravely, but they were outmatched. Despite their best efforts, they could not hold off the Empire's overwhelming force. Back on Earth, Alex and his friends watched in horror as the news broke about the attack. The images on the screen showed the devastation of the base. "We need to do something," Alex urged. "We can't let them destroy us without a fight." The group quickly gathered more people, calling on their friends and neighbors to join them. They organized a meeting to discuss how they could defend their planet. "We may be small, but we are not weak," Alex said passionately. "We must unite and prepare for battle." As they planned, the humans received reports of the attack spreading across the planet. Fear rippled through the population, but it also ignited a fire in their hearts. People began to rally together, determined to protect their home from the Empire. In the days that followed, the Empire continued to strike at various targets on Earth, seeking to break the human spirit. Each attack only fueled the determination of the people. They began to devise plans to counter the Empire's assaults. They created makeshift weapons and gathered resources, preparing for what they knew would be a fight for their lives. Kor, on the other hand, was becoming frustrated. The humans were not giving up as he had expected. Instead, they seemed to grow stronger with each attack. "They are resilient," he said to his officers, anger flashing in his eyes. "We must destroy their hope if we want to win this war." Both sides were now caught in a dangerous game. The Empire wanted to crush the humans, while humanity was united and ready to defend their home. The first shots had been fired and the battle lines were drawn. As Kor planned his next move, Alex and his friends prepared for their biggest challenge yet. They knew they were facing a powerful enemy, but they also understood that their strength came from their unity and resolve. The fight for Earth was just beginning, and both sides were ready for whatever lay ahead. The day of the big battle had arrived. Tension hung in the air as both sides prepared for the inevitable clash. On Earth, Alex and his friends were at the forefront of the resistance. They had gathered people from all over, uniting civilians and soldiers to defend their planet. The news of the Empire's attacks had spread like wildfire, igniting a spirit of courage among the people. In the early morning, Alex stood in front of a large crowd, his heart racing. "Today we fight for our home," he shouted, his voice ringing out. "We may not have the Empire's power, but we have something they don't. Our will to protect what we love." The crowd cheered, fueled by his words. They were ready to face whatever the Empire threw at them. Meanwhile, Admiral Kor was on his flagship, looking at the map of Earth. He had spent days planning this attack, and today was crucial. "We will strike hard and fast," he declared to his officers. "Our goal is to destroy their main base of operations. Once we take that, their resistance will crumble." The Empire's ships were already positioned above the planet, their sleek forms casting shadows over the ground below. Kor gave the signal, and the fleet began to descend toward the Earth. Alex and his team had anticipated this moment. They had set up defenses around their main base, a series of old military bunkers that they had repurposed for the battle. Anti-aircraft guns were ready, and makeshift barricades were erected. The humans stood firm, waiting for the Empire to come. As the first Empire ships came into view, Alex shouted to his team, "Now! Fire!" The sound of gunfire filled the air as the humans launched their defense. Bullets and missiles flew up toward the Empire's ships, exploding in bright flashes. Some ships were hit, but others continued their descent, unfazed by the resistance. Kor watched with determination. "Push forward! Show them our might," he commanded. The Empire's ships unleashed their firepower, raining down destruction on the ground. Explosions erupted around the humans and chaos spread. Alex could hear the cries of his friends as they fought to stay standing. "Stay together!" he yelled, trying to maintain order amidst the chaos. The humans fought bravely, but the Empire's advanced technology was overwhelming. One by one, their defenses began to crumble under the weight of the attacks. Despite the odds, Alex refused to give up. He spotted a group of soldiers struggling to hold their position. "We need to regroup," he called out, running toward them. "We can't let them break us! We fight as one!" As he reached the soldiers, they rallied around him, finding strength in their unity. Together they pushed back against the Empire, firing their weapons with renewed determination. They were outnumbered, but they fought fiercely, showing the Empire that they were not easily defeated. Back on Kor's flagship, the Admiral was growing impatient. Why haven't we finished them yet? He demanded, frustration evident in his voice. His officers were busy relaying commands, trying to regain control over the chaos of battle. Sir, their defenses are stronger than expected, one officer replied. They are fighting back with everything they have. Kor clenched his fists. We must crush their spirit. Increase the firepower! He ordered his fleet to launch a full-scale assault, aiming to break the humans once and for all. As the battle raged on, Alex and his team noticed a shift. The Empire's ships began to spread out, trying to surround them. They're trying to cut us off, Alex realized. We need to break their formation. With a quick plan in mind, Alex shouted commands to his friends. We'll create a diversion. If we can draw their fire away from our main base, we might just have a chance. They moved quickly, launching a series of attacks on the ships at the edge of the formation. The Empire responded, shifting their focus to the new threat. This created an opening for other groups of humans to strike back, attacking the Empire from different angles. The battle intensified, with fire and smoke filling the sky. Both sides were pushed to their limits, but neither was willing to back down. As explosions lit up the darkening sky, it was clear that this was a fight for survival, a battle that would determine the fate of Earth. In that moment, Alex knew they had to keep fighting. The will to protect their home burned bright within them. The humans were not just defending themselves, they were fighting for their future. As the dust settled from the first wave of the battle, it became clear that neither side would easily claim victory. The fight was far from over, and both the Empire and the humans were prepared for the challenges ahead. The sun rose over Earth, casting a warm glow on the battlefield. Smoke still lingered in the air, a reminder of the fierce struggle that had taken place. The fight between humanity and the Galactic Empire had changed everything. As the dust settled, the survivors began to emerge from the ruins, filled with hope and determination. Alex stood among his friends, looking at the remnants of their base. They had fought bravely, but the battle had taken a heavy toll. Many had been lost, and the scars of war were etched into the landscape. But there was a new energy in the air, a feeling of unity and purpose. They had survived against all odds. We did it, Alex whispered, his heart swelling with pride. We fought together and we stood our ground. His friend Mia nodded, wiping tears from her eyes. We lost so much, but we also gained something important. We know what we're capable of now. As they looked around, they saw others gathering. The people of Earth, once fearful and divided, were coming together. They shared stories of bravery and loss, comforting one another in their shared experience. The human spirit had not only survived, it had thrived. In the distance, the remains of the Empire's ships were visible, twisted metal scattered across the ground. Alex knew that the Empire would not give up easily. They would return, seeking revenge for their defeat. But the humans had learned a valuable lesson. They were stronger when united. Meanwhile, on Kor's flagship, the Admiral sat in silence. He stared out at the distant planet, his mind racing with thoughts of the battle. They had underestimated the humans, and the losses were staggering. He knew that the Empire could not afford another defeat. Prepare for a retreat, he commanded. We will regroup and come back stronger. As the remaining Empire ships pulled back, a new feeling washed over the humans. Instead of fear, they felt a surge of hope. They had stood against the Empire and emerged victorious. The message was clear. Humanity would not be easily defeated. Alex gathered the people around him once more. We must rebuild, he declared. We cannot let fear control us. Let's learn from this battle and prepare for what may come. His words echoed through the crowd, igniting a fire in their hearts. Together, they began the work of rebuilding their world. They cleared the debris from their base, repairing what they could and creating new defenses. The sound of laughter and teamwork filled the air, a stark contrast to the chaos of the previous days. As they worked, they also began to create a plan. They realized that they needed to develop new technologies and strategies to defend against the Empire. They reached out to scientists, engineers, and strategists, pooling their resources and knowledge. They were determined to stand strong if the Empire returned. Days turned into weeks, and the humans found themselves stronger than ever. They formed alliances and learned to communicate with one another, sharing ideas and skills. The spirit of collaboration turned into a powerful force, making them ready for any challenge. News of humanity's bravery spread throughout the galaxy. Other planets began to take notice of the humans who had stood against the powerful Empire. They saw the potential of Earth and its people, who had fought back with courage and strength. In the Empire's distant command center, Kor felt the weight of his defeat. He knew that the humans had awakened something within themselves, a spirit of resistance that would not easily be silenced. "We underestimated them," he admitted to his officers. "They have become a threat we cannot ignore." Back on Earth, the humans were not just preparing for defense, they were ready to take a stand. They sought to learn more about the Empire, understanding its strengths and weaknesses. They trained and equipped themselves, ready for whatever came next. Alex looked out at the horizon one day, filled with determination. He realized that this was not just the end of a battle, it was the beginning of a new era for humanity. They had discovered their strength and unity, and now they were prepared to face any challenge. "Together we will rise," Alex said to his friends. "This is just the start of our story. We will show the galaxy who we are." With that promise, the humans forged ahead, ready to face the future. They were no longer afraid of the Galactic Empire. They were ready to protect their home and fight for their place in the universe. As the sun set on that new beginning, the people of Earth stood strong, united in their resolve. They were ready to meet whatever lay ahead, confident in their strength as a united force.